Hurry into Bojangles for 2 scratch-made sizzling sausage biscuits for just $4. 1 bite and you'll want breakfast for dinner. Good thing we serve savory sausage biscuits all day. But this 2 for $4 deal won't last forever. It's bow time.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. Visit lionsclubs.org to learn more.
At Shentel, we understand our first responsibility is to provide you with fast, reliable internet at reasonable prices. That's why we're excited to offer Powerhouse from Shentel, new faster internet packages that are more affordable than ever. Powerhouse packages are designed to provide that peace of mind you want. Choose between 4 simple, hassle-free internet packages. When just a few people use your network regularly, 50 megabits per second, our lowest Powerhouse speed, is probably more than enough. Priced for your budget and still faster than what most other providers can deliver. 50 megs not quite enough? Bump up to 150 to make sure no one buffers. And for the multi-user, multi-device, heavy gaming video streaming household, we offer an enhanced speed package of 300 megs. But since your needs change daily, you have the option to push your network to the max with the top tier that reaches speeds up to a gig. That's 1,000 megs per second. We've heard you, and we know you want value. Powerhouse helps you get the most out of your internet with easy-to-understand rates that are just plain better. Combine these incredible new speed packages with our amazing unlimited data option and surf, stream, and download to your heart's content. Powerhouse is the result of Shentel's hard work to expand and upgrade our network. We made sure to build it to fit your needs right now and continue to make improvements so it'll be strong enough for your future. Learn more about Powerhouse at Shentel.com. Make the switch and turn your house into a powerhouse today. The fastest internet from the one provider that calls this place home. Shentel, always connected to you.
Our roads and highways are busier than ever.
With tractor trailers and large company vehicles.
While most truck operators are responsible drivers,
accidents do occur, resulting in catastrophic injuries and fatalities. At Crandall & Cott, our specialized team is highly skilled at obtaining the maximum compensation.
if you've been injured, call the law firm that cares.
Call Crandall & Cott today for a free consultation.
Founded by Bob and Belle Cooper in 1975, Uttermost has been family-owned and operated for over 45 years. The name Uttermost comes from the Bible, Acts chapter 1, verse 8. This verse expresses our personal beliefs to share God's word to the uttermost part of the earth. Though rooted in our time-honored traditions, we prioritize expanding our collections each season with the most fashion-forward products in the industry. We take pride in our innovative product design, attention to detail, and first-class customer care, making us a respected resource for retailers and interior designers around the world. Join the Uttermost team. We are now hiring directly for a variety of positions. To learn more, visit our website at www.uttermost.com/jobs or give us a call at 540-483-5103.
If the workday's over but your hunger is gearing up, go for all the hand-breaded chicken you can handle. Cause with 8 pieces of handcrafted chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea, you can clock out and still enjoy a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Hello, Franklin County. It's Doug Williams with Budget Blinds. We're your turnkey solution to all your window covering needs. I hope you're watching Franklin County Cable 12 Sports, where we bring to you the umpires and the officials each and every week. And every time a bad call is made, that is brought to you by the blind guys. Is this year you're building that new house? How about adding on that sunroom you've been talking about? Well, here at Budget Blinds, we're here to help. The consultation is free, we do the work, and it's all backed by our 5-year no questions asked warranty. This year, let the blind guys help you see the possibilities.
When it's time to celebrate the life of someone special, turn to Connor Bowman Funeral Home. With 2 full-service facilities, we offer professional care and service to our community. 100% owned and operated, offering you the traditional historical Lynch Connor Bowman and Franklin County's most modern and newest facility on 220 North. We can assist you with pre-arranged funerals, and we house an on-site crematory. We can come to your home to make arrangements and pre-arrangements. We offer the release of 1 white dove, 1 memorial video, and video of the service if held in one of our chapels at no cost to you. Connor Bowman Funeral Home, Rocky Mount and 220 North.
Doyle Custom Embroidery is your family-owned, faith-based choice for custom embroidery, screen printing, and heat printing right here in Franklin County. If you want to improve your business's image, promote your event, or just create your own custom product, then Doyle Custom Embroidery is your choice. We can embroider anything that will hold a stitch. Check out our huge selection of quality products at dcestore.com. And remember, we'll keep you in stitches.
Gonna climb me a mountain. I'm gonna ride down the river. See corn on the meadow, blueberry jelly on the vine. There's a little country church brings me closer to my Savior. Little bit of heaven, a whole lot of love left behind. Gonna climb.
Well, good morning and welcome to Rise and Shine Franklin County and all the areas around, because now we are back on Cable 12. We are so delighted. We also can be seen on Facebook and I do believe on YouTube. So we are out there and we're so glad you're joining us this morning. It's kind of, they said on the news last night, it's going to be kind of fallish weather this week, but I was also reading, you know, Labor Day is coming up and that's kind of the end of summer, the beginning of fall, and it is upon us next weekend. So we'll talk more about that later, but we have a familiar face with us this morning and we're going to talk about the housing market and how it's going. So I'm going to let her introduce herself, but she's a familiar face to Rise and Shine. But anyway, anybody that's just joining us, Betty, tell us who you are.
Well, thank you. I'm Betty Kingery, and I have a real estate firm here in the county, but I'm here to promote real estate for all of our realtors that are here in the county and work in Franklin County and beyond. So that's what I'm doing today.
Okay, well, I have seen in driving, I see lots of for sale signs.
It's a huge difference in our market right now. It really is. The market has picked up, and with you speaking about that, it's much more inventory than we've had for quite a few years. There's actually 209 homes for sale this morning here in Franklin County. We've had as few as 60 some. So it's growing for different reasons. Maybe homes are staying on the market a little bit longer than what they used to. But I feel like that folks are getting a little more used to what our interest rates are for buyers. So sellers are thinking, okay, if my home's not on the market, how are they going to know that I want to sell?
That's right.
So, but it's been tough. So for many years, and for a seller, because once again, why would you want to sell your home just to move to another home if you did not have a significant reason to do so? Because your interest rate may have been 2.9. And now at least we're looking at around the sixes, between 6 and 7 for an interest rate. So that's good. That's a good thing. Many of our homes are being sold today. The sellers, it's because of life changes. And so that's the big reason. If you think about all the life changes that we could go through, that I won't get into them, but that's exactly where most of our sellers, where our sales are coming from, as far as where are your listings coming from. So it's interesting, but there is a huge difference between our market right now and several years ago. When you think about, we do not have the frenzy anymore that we had 5 years ago. There was a time that we had so few listings that homes were flying off the market, you might say. But actually, you would list a home, it would be sold within a week. Some were sold within an hour. And that was a tough time for a buyer, because if you didn't stop what you were doing right then and go see the house, there was a chance that you were going to lose it. You would go to the house, perhaps there would be a line of people waiting to see the house. You thought maybe it was an open house just because of the number of cars that were lined up in the driveway or on the street next to the house. It was not an open house. Folks were just anxious to see it because there were so few listings. We don't have that frenzy right now, and that's a wonderful thing, because as far as for a buyer, you have that opportunity to choose from some homes, perhaps. The market is slower, so you can take time, make decisions about, what do I want? What do I want in this house? Is this the right house for me? So you are making an educated decision now, more so than you were earlier. So the market is quite different. And when you say that you see so many more signs out, yes, you do. And that's all a good thing. And we think of that frenzy market, yay, it's behind us. So that's all good. And, homes in Franklin County now, our average days on the market is 58 days. And believe it or not, that's the same average for the state of Virginia and also nationally. I thought that was kind of interesting, that when I figured it up, and I thought, well, this couldn't be, that this is just what I know from the state. And I have the opportunity to work on the state committees through our Virginia Association of Realtors, as well as the National Association. So I end up getting statistics and getting information firsthand of what's going on in the market, and just being able to talk to other realtors throughout the state and throughout the country. So that's certainly a great opportunity, but it also gives me the insight of what's going on in the rest of the state, because many times what happens in Northern Virginia many times will trickle down to us eventually, whether it's good or bad. But we see that as happening. As their market slowed up, sooner or later, which is now, our market has slowed as well. So it's good for the buyer. They are, as I say, it just being able to take more time to make a decision instead of what we used to, the buyer was having to do before, is I better do it now. I better write an offer now. And many times, even when they wrote an offer, some buyers wrote a dozen offers on different, or I should say, wrote offers on a dozen different houses before they even got one. And maybe they didn't get it because somebody outbid them, even somebody at sight unseen got that particular home. All kinds of fast-paced things were happening then, and where that seems to be behind us.
And
so that's a good thing.
You always have that little thing in there where somebody comes along with a cash offer. And if you don't, isn't there something you can put in your contract? Is there a kick-out clause or something? I wrote a contract for a house we sold one time. Well, I took it to a lawyer and had him look at it, and he said, Joyce, you have got yourself covered up one side and down the other. But if you do write an offer on a house, then you are going to have to finance it. And if you don't, is there a clause that you have to put in your contract that somebody can't do that to you, or can somebody come along with a cash offer and take it out from under you? Can you do that?
As agents, we accept all offers up until closing. Now, how somebody that already has that contract, how you're going to kick them out, now that's a little bit tricky. I mean, if that buyer does not follow the contract exactly as it's written, then they could be considered in default, and so they lose out. But I mean, you really, as far as kicking somebody out just because you have more money or it's cash, and maybe the first one was accepted that was a loan, and so now you want to take the cash one, that's kind of tricky. It happens from time to time, but back in the fast-paced market, there was more cash flowing around than we had ever seen. So where this cash came from, because literally the cash contracts did get more attention than someone that needed a mortgage. That was pretty unfortunate. And you think again about how a buyer feels that, and especially a first-time home buyer, finding a house, and it would be a good house for them, but an investor comes along that has cash, and you didn't have that opportunity. So, I mean, lots of things were going on. It was important for the realtor that was representing that buyer to talk with that buyer and figure out the ways that you could have the cleanest contract possible so that you could perhaps win in the long run. And I mean, folks were even offering above list price at that time too. So, and that's hard for somebody that needs a mortgage, because you qualify for a certain amount and you can't go over that amount. So if somebody is going over it, you have a stopping point. So
there's nothing to do.
At least now you don't have that. That buyer has the opportunity to think about what they're doing. We have the opportunity to negotiate it. And before, it really was almost no negotiation. As a listing agent, you put out your 17 offers that you had on the house, and you picked the best one because there definitely was going to be a best one. So, and as a buyer, you didn't have that chance to negotiate. So at least now, with most transactions, you've had that opportunity to negotiate and make the smart move that you knew or you know that you want to do.
These houses that I've been seeing, I cut down through on Bernard's Road in Franklin Heights, and the houses, we've talked about what you have to do for the eye appeal to get the attention. You want the outside to look nice, have your flowers pretty, and they do. They're really pretty houses that haven't been on the inside, but it's inviting.
Oh, Absolutely.
to see a house that's
Absolutely.
really pretty on the outside, got the flowers pretty. It's just very inviting to come on in.
Well, and speaking of that, we can switch over. Buyers do have more time to think now, and that's great. Now, realizing though that not every house is like that.
Right.
Even though we have 58 days on the market, there are still homes now that are standing out, like what you're saying. And once they go on the market, they may sell within a week. We still have those homes, depending on the price range, the location, and the appeal of certain features that maybe that house has.
I think location has so much to do if a house that you want to be in a certain location, like my house that I have now, it went for sale one day and we bought it the next. But I'm in between Rocky Mount and Boone's Mill. I'm right off 220. So one day if I ever decide to sell it, it's kind of like I sold my car and I had people standing in line with their checkbook to buy my car because I bought another one. So where my house, where my house is, it's right near Summit View. We've got more businesses coming into Summit View. So I figure whenever I get ready to sell it won't take long. And I've got mine kind of set up for handicap. So anybody, an older couple, this would be a perfect house for them. Now, don't be calling me because I'm not ready to sell. But you never know. You never know.
So, speaking again on the seller side and how good your house is looking and that appeal for somebody inviting for you to come in, it's interesting right now that for sellers, there is an uptick in the number of transactions that are falling apart before closing. So you've got your buyer now as a seller, but what is it that you could do as a seller before you list the house? Because here's what's happening. As we are finding an uptick, as I say, in the number of transactions that are falling apart, and that's the last thing you want as a seller, especially if you were occupying the house and you're packing up and ready to go, and all of a sudden something happens. However, what we're finding right now, the number one reason for why homes are transactions or contracts are falling apart is because of the home inspection. So what I recommend for sellers, if you're anywhat afraid of something that's going on in your house, first of all, whatever it is, I'd fix it. Do it before you list your house. Right. But something that you could do is have a home inspection prior to your listing. So you think to yourself, oh, that's more money that I've got to put out right then. But, well, you know what? That's almost like insurance for you. If you go ahead with that home inspection, maybe you find a plumbing issue that you weren't aware of. Maybe it's an electrical issue. Maybe something going on in your panel box. Maybe you have title issues. Of course, that's not going to show up on a home inspection, but these are just some things that you as a seller could be proactive. And now we have a new septic inspection that we have to go through by law. It's a little bit different from what we've had before, but this became effective July 1st. Oh. But anyway, there are those things that you need to maybe take a look at, because I think to myself, you have your house listed. Now within 10 days, you're going to start you will have a home inspection. And maybe some of these issues were revealed at that time. Well, think about it. If you already have a contract on a house, maybe you already, and again, this is kind of because of the shift of the market that we're seeing right now, in your mind, you're thinking your house should have sold within a week. And so it stayed on the market for 90 days. And maybe you took a much lower price than what you really wanted to, but you thought, well, why didn't my house sell within a week? And your agent is trying to tell you that, you know, our days on the market are longer right now. That's just kind of the way the market is. So it's okay. It's okay. Your home will sell. There is somebody out there that wants your house. Okay, but, you know, as a buyer, we're going to always want the most for the least. Absolutely. So you do that no matter what you're getting. But so maybe as a seller, you already reduced your home price. Maybe it was listed too high to begin with. I mean, that's possible too. But you brought your price down to meet your buyer. You all negotiated on everything concerning the house at the time. You have a contract. You're already at what you feel is your bottom line. And so now we have a home inspection, and now you have a major issue. Maybe the roof shingles, maybe you do actually have a leak. You didn't realize it because you didn't get up in the attic to check it out ever. Right. We've had a lot of rain this summer. So maybe all of a sudden in the home inspection, it's saying that you need a new roof. Aha. Now who's going to pay for it? Of course, the buyer is going to say, I really want you, Mr. Seller, Ms. Seller, I want you to pay for it. And you're thinking to yourself, oh dear, I've already given you $40,000 off on the house. Can't you think about that now that you got that much money off? And that should include the roof. Well, maybe the buyer's budget was already stretched to get the house to begin with. Maybe they don't have the extra money to buy a new roof. So what happens? Either the buyer's going to walk away, or maybe you as the seller need to cancel. You'll put a new roof on, and then you relist the house. But think of all the time that's happening here as far as the loss, the days on the market, and just the loss of, plus the anxiety of, wow, we got the house sold, we've packed up, we've found somewhere else to live, or maybe you knew of where you were going, and now we're starting all over again. So those times are tough. Renegotiations are tough many times. And so I understand about the buyer. Maybe in their budget, they cannot put a new roof on. Maybe they cannot replace whatever electrical is going on and with the panel box. Maybe they can't do that. And so that's why many times for a seller to avoid any of this renegotiating, consider a home inspection prior to listing your house.
Yeah, just do it yourself. Because normally if you finance a house, you have to have a home inspection, right?
Not necessarily. That's in our contract. And of course, the lender is going to look at our contract and follow our contract.
Okay.
As a buyer, you need to check with your lender and see. There are times maybe that a lender asks to see that home inspection because, again, if they are mortgaging your house, they want it to be
right.
The right. Yeah, make sure things are okay.
Yeah.
Now, it depends, especially if you're going to have a VA loan or any kind of government loan, you definitely have to have certain specifications. It's the appraiser that's going to make the statement as far as this, and this has to be fixed before you can purchase the house or before you're going to be able to get this particular loan. So it just depends on what they may mark in their appraisal as far as what has to be fixed. And if the seller's not willing to do it, and many times a seller doesn't want the buyer to come in and fix it because it's the seller's property. What if something else happens to you as a buyer and you don't end up getting my property? So it's again, it's a renegotiation that you have to go through.
And two, if you have a piece of property to sell, maybe, I'm going to buy a house, okay? So that seller should do a home inspection. But here I am, I've got a house I've got to sell also, so I should have a home inspection on what I'm selling before I can buy that one.
Maybe. You know, it doesn't hurt. It really, in today's market, for everything to roll along very smoothly, inspections don't hurt. You know, and now with our new septic, you need to go to the health department and find out when the septic was installed, find out all this information about the septic, and that will certainly help the agent. Because as we go through, maybe your septic needs to be pumped. And in Franklin County, we have lots of private septic. So it has affected many of our sellers.
So what is the law that has gone into effect July 1?
We used to do a septic inspection that was more or less a walkover.
Right.
And, you know, how effective was that? I don't know. But when the law changed July 1st, it's much more demanding as far as actual inspection of the tank, of your distribution box. And of course, we could spend a long time talking about all of this, but the important part is for the seller and for the buyer to be aware that the septic inspection is just a little bit different now from what it was a few months ago.
Okay, say my house. Would it behoove me if I put my house on the market to go and have my septic tank pumped?
Absolutely.
And now this inspection that they would do.
Inspected.
Yeah. And that would be something that was already done. And if you think, it's been several years since mine's been pumped, so it might, I'm not going to, like I said, my house is not on the market, but maybe that's something I should do. It's just peace of mind.
Think about when was the last time it was pumped. That's what you possibly need to go back and think about.
Yeah.
Is, you know, if it has been more than 5 years. Now, there's lots of homes out there with septics that haven't been pumped for 20 years maybe. And that's okay. You know, I used to always say, well, if the septic is working properly, all things are going well, then if it's not, what is it? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't mess with it. So, you know, you have got to reasonably think about what you need to do in your situation.
Well, I tried to think about this when we bought the house, we had it pumped. Okay, then, and my daughter went in the Air Force, so we bought it in 97, 98, she left. It only left 4 of us. And then there was another happening until 2002. There was only one person there for 2 years. And then I bought the house back, and it's only been one of me there for the last 20. So I figure, do I need to have it pumped? It's just been me.
And maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, it just, as I say, it's all up to an individual. If you've got a 3-bedroom septic, all things have been running well, it's only you know exactly what goes in that septic. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe not. It's the case of, as far as the toilet tissue, the different things that go into the septic, that's what's going to make the difference of as far as how effectively the septic is working and the drain field is working effectively.
Right. Well, you know, you were talking about the inspection that we used to have when they put something orange in the can and flush it and see if it came to the top of the.
Or you go out to the drain field and you wonder if they even knew where the drain field was.
They did not, because somebody that lived in this house before me had it terraced and had black paper put all over the hill. So when we had our new well drilled, the guy came with his water witch and found our drain lines. They're down over the hill under the black plastic. So if orange hadn't come up to the top of the ground, I told the gentleman, I told him, I said, honey, you never saw it because it was underneath that black plastic. So that was kind of a waste of our money, but we had to have it done. And then there are some houses, I don't know what happened years ago. This house was built in 77. But I think some of the contractors got their permit and then didn't build right away. And at the health department, you don't have a record of where your drain lines are.
You may not. It may not. There's a lot of discrepancy when it comes to septics. It absolutely is. There are specific people that are certified to do these inspections now. It's taken us longer and on our inspection schedule to get them scheduled and get it done. And again, it's up to your agent to negotiate with your buyer and seller and make everybody happy. As far as, because again, for a seller, if you've got to pull out all of their shrubs because the law says accessibility, if the seller says no, it's not accessible, then as a buyer, they're going, well, wait a minute, what are we going to do here? So there's a lot of negotiation that goes on now due to the septics.
Oh, so you're saying that it's a possibility you might have to have your shrubs removed because it's in a way of pumping the septic system?
Or doing your inspection. There's all kinds of, so it's, and we're working through it because again, you think about it's July and August, 2 months that we've had this law. It kind of came upon us quickly, or we were not as prepared maybe as what we should have been, especially when it comes to who's going to do the inspection for us. We've had to be a little more cognizant of our timeline and who's going to do it, how soon can they do it, and just because so few people are certified to do this, you just got to wait in line for it.
Well,
so it's interesting, but anyway, these are things that as a seller, you maybe should think about. And I think as a buyer, many times if you've already pumped your septic, maybe that's all they're asking for, as you know, or they'll say I'll waive it because she's already taken care of these things. You know, it's kind of a trust issue too until it becomes a problem. I say nothing is a problem until it's a problem, right?
Yeah.
But you know, if you go into a house, it's nice and clean, it looks like it's well maintained, you have a copy of the results of a home inspection on the table, and you also have invoices of what you fixed and taken care of. You know, as a first-time home buyer, I think that I would love that.
Oh, yeah.
And I would think of how clean I could make my offer so that you would accept it and we would be happy ever after.
Yeah.
So, you know, things happen when you live in a house. An HVAC system could work perfectly through the home inspection forever on the life of the house that you've lived in it. And as I say, it checks out fine with the HVAC people. You know, you might decide as a seller that, well, wait a minute, I have my HVAC system serviced every 6 months or at least every year. So you may want them to come back and do a sign off of what they've done. And also, I mean, many times it's marked on the inside system as far as when were these inspections done. You may have a specific plumber that has done work for you, and you decide, well, I want the plumber to check out my plumbing. I want my electrician to check out. It's fine for you to do those things too, and you may have friends that won't charge you so much, perhaps, that is an electrician, and you say, check out my panel box, please. Take the cover off, look at it. Is something double tapped? What's going on here with my electrical? And, you know, they may do it just because they're a friend. However, once you're under contract, No, friends, the buyer's not going to let you do that, more than likely. As far as you can mark it in your contract that I have so-and-so that is going to check out the electrical. This is like after you've finished or they've done a home inspection and you have a punch list of things and you're looking through that punch list and you think, well, I know that so-and-so could do this for me and this one can do that. Well, if they are not a contractor and in that field, no, unless you marked it in your agreement to begin with, that you would be using somebody that's a handyman. And I tell you what, a handyman is a wonderful person because many times they had their license, but they didn't renew it because they are of age that I don't want to. But yet they are so skilled at what they do. Mm-hmm. So you've got to do that stuff, though, before you get your house under contract.
Just like when we've talked about pay off your small credit cards, get your credit score up, because your credit score, just like when I just bought a car, my credit score got me the best rate that I could get.
Absolutely.
So
as a buyer, there's so many things to look out for. And as a seller, right now, you've got to think as a seller, you have more competition. So yes, your house needs to look nice. Yes, it needs to show well. That is, if you want to sell it right away.
And unclutter
at
it.
the highest price possible. So those are things that you really have to look out for. You know, I know that transactions are going to fall apart because of buyer's remorse. That's going to happen too. But I tell you, the number one reason for transactions or contracts falling apart are home inspections. And one way or the other, the seller or the buyer can't fix it, can't do everything. Maybe they don't agree with the home inspector. All these things come to play. But then a buyer can have buyer's remorse, so it falls apart for that reason. Their financing, maybe that you did get pre-qualified, but you find as we're getting into the details, and I mean, I tell you, a lender digs into everything for you as a buyer. And maybe you forgot about so-and-so, but then you weren't thinking about that there's a debt to income ratio that you've got to stay within. And so when you called in or online got your pre-qual letter, you didn't put all these two extra vehicles that you just purchased and that you have a loan on. Maybe you co-signed for a child and you didn't even think about that kind of stuff affects you as a buyer. All of these things need to be figured out before you go under contract. It's so many things as far as buyer-wise, seller-wise that you need to do. Now it sounds like I'm preaching, but let's think about.
But I mean, that's where your agent comes in to help you to visualize these things and to do these things, and get ready.
Yeah, you do. As I said, it's great right now. 209 homes that you can choose from. Well, you may not be in the price range for $1 million to $2 million. Although I just noticed there are 27 homes for sale between $1 million and $2 million here in Franklin County. That's a higher number. I noticed during the month of July, most of our sales have been in that 200 to 300 range. 200 to 300,000, I should say when I say that. There's 25 homes for sale between 200,000 and 300,000. There are 17 of them that have already closed. That is the biggest, what am I looking for as far as that range has the highest number of closings during the month of August. I was saying July a minute ago, but during the month of August. So I can't believe, and September is just right here.
Yeah.
What is this? Look, it sounds like today I must have all been in July the whole time. And we're really in August. We're on the 25th.
Yeah.
What is happening here? 300,000 to 400,000, there's a choice of 35 homes. to choose from. 16 homes are under contract right now, and 10 have our 10. Now, when I say 16 under contract, those are 16 under contract and 10 have closed. It's not 10 of those 16. So you think that's our highest range, 400,000 to 500,000, there's 35 homes for sale.
Wow.
So it's like that range from 250,000 to 600,000. That's where you find the most houses for sale. And not everybody qualifies for a $350,000 home.
Nope. And think what the house payment would be.
Well, with the interest rate, and that goes back to, as a buyer, more than ever, you need to work on your credit score. Because the better your credit score, the better your interest rate. You know, the bank may advertise that interest rates are 6.6 or 6.3 or whatever. That's when you have the best credit score. When you go in and you think, well, I got a 7.2, why? It's because you should have worked on your credit score just a little bit harder. So again, the better the credit score, because when we've got high home prices and high interest rates, yes, you've got a high mortgage to pay each month. So
it happens.
It happens. All right. Well, I've talked enough, but I'm happy that we're looking at 58 days on the market as far as what you can expect as far as how long will my house be on the market. Again, that's an average. So think about it. There's going to be many days higher than 58. But then there's still those ones that are 2 or 3 days. So that's all positive news. And it's a good market right now. You just have more homes to choose from. But again, as a seller, don't forget, you may have to work a little bit harder so you stand out.
Well, and you kind of have to do your homework. If you're going to sell a house, take a look at it. Even if you got your real estate agent, come and take a look and give you advice. Well, you need to do this. You need to paint this room. You need to clean this closet out and be ready. I mean, you can't just put it on the market and then you have open, and people are going to look in your cabinets. They're going to look in your closet.
Yes, they are.
They look at my pantry. They'd love it. I had a friend come and they put a light in it and it looks like a grocery store.
Oh, because you've got everything lined up. Well, you're organized. That's how you get what you do done.
That's probably the only closet, Betty.
Well, at least if you were selling your house, I would know that you're going to go through and you'll fold your towels and you'll stack them up and you'll have them colorized or whatever you do. But anyway, but your house is not for sale, so we're not worried about it right now.
But I still like to have it look nice if I have people in and you open the door where the linen closet is. I'm with you. I like to have all the towels folded. My aunt had the most beautiful closet she had made, and she starched her sheets. Well, those sheets were folded pristine, and then they're in those little stacks. And I mean, you open and if you spent the night at her house, you just kind of slid into the bed because she starched her sheets. But hey, it was wonderful. It was like staying in some big Hilton. And she'd always give up her bedroom for us, and that was really nice. Now, I do like, I did. Well, before I lost my leg, I would iron my sheets, and people are
what?
Oh, yeah. I love to see pillowcases that are ironed on a bed. I don't like to see wrinkles in pillowcases. Now, that is in my past. I will get back to that. I will. I have faith in myself.
You got to get some bamboo and be sure you get them out of the dryer as soon as it's time, and put them on the pillow, and then they're perfect.
Yeah, but if not, I mean, now some people want iron towels. No, I don't do that. But my pillowcases, I would always iron them because I like to see them on that bed with no wrinkles in them, or folded in the closet, with everything organized. Now, don't come and look at it today, okay?
All right. Well, I know I bothered long enough having just
Well, that's okay, but it's good to know having all these houses. And like I said, I've been seeing these signs going up, and even for land. And I have a friend, and I think I don't know if she's found it, but I did send her information that was looking for the horse farm. They're moving here from Illinois, and I don't know. Have you heard from her?
I have not.
Shoot. Well, I tried.
That's right.
All right. Well,
We'll get her a horse farm.
Well, she's got 3 horses, and she's found some place to board them, and I'm trying to help. I mean, I'm helping her here. I sent her a picture of a beautiful horse farm. One she did not like, but this one is better. But listen, we're going to take a little break and hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back because we got some important announcements to tell you. So get your pen and paper or your calendar and stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's bow time. Hurry into Bojangles for 2 scratch-made sizzling sausage biscuits for just $4. 1 bite and you'll want breakfast for dinner. Good thing we serve savory sausage biscuits all day. But this 2-for-4 deal won't last forever. It's bow time.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. Visit lionsclubs.org to learn more.
At Shentel, we understand our first responsibility is to provide you with fast, reliable internet at reasonable prices. That's why we're excited to offer Powerhouse from Shentel, new faster internet packages that are more affordable than ever. Powerhouse packages are designed to provide that peace of mind you want. Choose between 4 simple, hassle-free internet packages. When just a few people use your network regularly, 50 megabits per second, our lowest Powerhouse speed, is probably more than enough. Priced for your budget and still faster than what most other providers can deliver. 50 megs not quite enough? Bump up to 150 to make sure no one buffers. And for the multi-user, multi-device, heavy gaming video streaming household, we offer an enhanced speed package of 300 megs. But since your needs change daily, you have the option to push your network to the max with the top tier that reaches speeds up to 1 gig. That's 1,000 megs per second. We've heard you, and we know you want value. Powerhouse helps you get the most out of your internet with easy-to-understand rates that are just plain better. Combine these incredible new speed packages with our amazing unlimited data option and surf, stream, and download to your heart's content. Powerhouse is the result of Shentel's hard work to expand and upgrade our network. We made sure to build it to fit your needs right now and continue to make improvements so it'll be strong enough for your future. Learn more about Powerhouse at Shentel.com. Make the switch and turn your house into a powerhouse today. The fastest internet from the one provider that calls this place home. Shentel, always connected to you.
Our roads and highways are busier than ever.
With tractor trailers and large company vehicles.
While most truck operators are responsible drivers,
Accidents do occur, resulting in catastrophic injuries and fatalities. At Crandall & Cott, our specialized team is highly skilled at obtaining the maximum compensation.
if you've been injured, call the law firm that cares.
Call Crandall & Cott today for a free consultation.
Founded by Bob and Belle Cooper in 1975, Uttermost has been family owned and operated for over 45 years. The name Uttermost comes from the Bible, Acts chapter 1, verse 8. This verse expresses our personal beliefs to share God's word to the uttermost part of the earth. Though rooted in our time-honored traditions, we prioritize expanding our collections each season with the most fashion-forward products in the industry. We take pride in our innovative product design, attention to detail, and first-class customer care, making us a respected resource for retailers and interior designers around the world. Join the Uttermost team We are now hiring directly for a variety of positions. To learn more, visit our website at www.uttermost.com/jobs or give us a call at 540-483-5103.
If the workday's over but your hunger is gearing up, go for all the hand-breaded chicken you can handle. Cause with 8 pieces of handcrafted chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea, you can clock out and still enjoy a delicious dinner. It's bow time.
Hello, Franklin County. It's Doug Williams with Budget Blinds. We're your turnkey solution to all your window covering needs. I hope you're watching Franklin County Cable 12 Sports, where we bring to you the umpires and the officials each and every week. And every time a bad call is made, that is brought to you by the blind guys. Is this year you're building that new house? How about adding on that sunroom you've been talking about? Well, here at Budget Blinds, we're here to help. The consultation is free, we do the work, and it's all backed by our 5-year no questions asked warranty. This year, let the blind guys help you see the possibilities.
When it's time to celebrate the life of someone special, turn to Connor Bowman Funeral Home. With 2 full-service facilities, we offer professional care and service to our community. 100% owned and operated, offering you the traditional historical Lynch, Connor Bowman, and Franklin County's most modern and newest facility on 220 North. We can assist you with pre-arranged funerals, and we house an on-site crematory. We can come to your home to make arrangements and pre-arrangements. We offer the release of 1 white dove, 1 memorial video, and video of the service if held in one of our chapels at no cost to you. Connor Bowman Funeral Home, Rocky Mount and 220 North.
Doyle Custom Embroidery is your family-owned, faith-based choice for custom embroidery, screen printing, and heat printing right here in Franklin County. If you want to improve your business's image, promote your event, or just create your own custom product, then Doyle Custom Embroidery is your choice. We can embroider anything that will hold a stitch. Check out our huge selection of quality products at dcestore.com. And remember, we'll keep you in stitches.
It's bow time. Hurry into Bojangles for 2 scratch-made sizzling sausage biscuits for just $4. 1 bite and you'll want breakfast for dinner. Good thing we serve savory sausage biscuits all day. But this 2 for $4 deal won't last forever. It's bow time.
We are Lions. We bring hope where it's needed. Support causes that matter. Change lives. Change communities. Change the world. Visit lionsclubs.org to learn more.
At Shentel, we understand our first responsibility is to provide you with fast, reliable internet at reasonable prices. That's why we're excited to offer Powerhouse from Shentel, new faster internet packages that are more affordable than ever. Powerhouse packages are designed to provide that peace of mind you want. Choose between 4 simple, hassle-free internet packages. When just a few people use your network regularly, 50 megabits per second, our lowest Powerhouse speed, is probably more than enough. Priced for your budget and still faster than what most other providers can deliver. 50 megs not quite enough? Bump up to 150 to make sure no one buffers. And for the multi-user, multi-device, heavy gaming video streaming household, we offer an enhanced speed package of 300 megs. But since your needs change daily, you have the option to push your network to the max with the top tier that reaches speeds up to 1 gig. That's 1,000 megs per second. We've heard you, and we know you want value. Powerhouse helps you get the most out of your internet with easy-to-understand rates that are just plain better. Combine these incredible new speed packages with our amazing unlimited data option and surf, stream, and download to your heart's content. Powerhouse is the result of Shentel's hard work to expand and upgrade our network. We made sure to build it to fit your needs right now and continue to make improvements so it'll be strong enough for your future. Learn more about Powerhouse at Shentel.com. Make the switch and turn your house into a powerhouse today. The fastest internet from the one provider that calls this place home. Shentel, always connected to you.
Our roads and highways are busier than ever.
With tractor trailers and large company vehicles.
While most truck operators are responsible drivers,
accidents do occur, resulting in catastrophic injuries and fatalities. At Crandall & Cott, our specialized team is highly skilled at obtaining the maximum compensation.
if you've been injured, call the law firm that cares.
Call Crandall & Cott today for a free consultation.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine. We're glad to hear that we've got more houses on the market. You've got more time to make a decision. You don't have to rush right out there and buy one, but we need to know that you need to get your property ready, and it is a good idea to have your septic tank pumped. I think I may look into that myself because it's been a while since we did that. Okay, let's talk about what's coming up. All right, we still need vendors for the Autumn Fest, the 11th annual Autumn Fest for the Soup Kitchen fundraiser. Now that's going to be on September 27th from 10 to 3 o'clock at the Franklin County Law Lot right in front of the stadium. But we need vendors. If you sell oils or jewelry or wreaths or whatever, if you have it to sell, you pay $50 for your table, then anything that you sell is yours. Rocky Mountain Lions Club is putting together a basket. We're going to have it on here in the next day or two. A tool chest. We've got the guys in mind this time. We've got a tool chest, but also we don't leave out the ladies. We have a Ninja food processor, and we also have a weather station. So for $5 a ticket, you've got 3 chances to win. We're going to draw, take that name out, but if you buy many tickets, then you've got lots of chances to win those nice items, and they really are nice. We're going to have that down at the vendor fair. Also, we're going to have Malabar pepper. That is wonderful, made by Happy Home Flavorings. So anyway, we're going to be there, Rocky Mountain Lions Club, so go and get you a table. You can either get in touch with this lady, and it's mariekan31@gmail.com. Or stop at Stepping Stone Missions, and you maybe can register there. But anyway, we'll look to see you. That's going to be on September 27th, but you need to get registered if you want to be a vendor. All right, something else that is coming up is we are going to honor, this is our 250th anniversary of the freedom of our country. So the Veterans Appreciation Night, we're going to be celebrating that 250 years of freedom by honoring those who served. So veterans and a guest will receive free admission to the first, I don't know how this thing printed, but it must have printed over itself on my printer. Anyway, we're going to honor these veterans at the first home game, and that is on September the 12th. On Friday night, you and a guest get into the football game free. I want you to go out on the field. They're going to honor all of our veterans that come, and then after that, they're going to feed you like a little meal that you would have at a football game. So that meal will follow the recognition ceremony. And that, again, is on September the 12th at 6:30 p.m. at the C.I. Dillon Stadium in Franklin County. And this is sponsored by Franklin County Public Schools and the Franklin County VA 250 Committee. And we thank Franklin County Schools for sponsoring this, and we will be there. And so any veteran I see with their hat on, I tell them about this because we do want it to be a big celebration. I mean, it is a big celebration. We live in freedom, and thank those who have fought for it. Okay. Community Partnership Scarecrow Trail, located through Rocky Mountain. You know, for the past several years, we've had scarecrows. So registration is now open. This is a free and open to any individual, family, business, or organization who wants to participate. But you must register before September the 10th. Now, we are in August, but you know how time flies. If you want to put one of these scarecrows up, you got to register before September the 10th. And your scarecrow must be decorated before September 19th, and that's the day before the Rocky Mount Fest. Visit historicrockymount.com or the Community Partnership Facebook page to register. Now that is visit historicrockymount.com. And maybe that's no spaces in that. This is a fun and friendly competition with awards being announced at the Spooky S'mores and Fireside Tales event at Wade Park. Okay, happening on September the 20th. You got to get your scarecrow ready the day before from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. This is the third year of this free music festival that features 5 stages and over 18 local and national bands. This year's event features national touring band Town Mountain as the headliner. Alternate country with a honky-tonk attitude. Boy, I would love that. That'll be a little foot patting and clapping, I'm thinking. There will be craft and food vendors, activities for the kids, and a full afternoon of fun. Put that on your calendar. That is September the 20th. I love to see all those scarecrows through town. I think they're wonderful, and people's imagination and building them. I just so much enjoy see the families walking around and taking pictures. I love it. This makes me think we're in a Hallmark movie. All right, coming up, Lake Christian Ministries announced their 2025 Smith Mountain Lake Walk to End Poverty. This is going to take place also on September the 20th at Smith Mountain Lake State Park. As the organization's signature fundraising event, this annual walk run raises vital support for local families in crisis. So we'll have more about that. I hope to get somebody to come on the show to talk more about that. And we have a new playbook, and we'll be going over that next time we meet. I haven't had a chance to really look at it, but all kinds of things that are coming up for us to do. I've been looking, I'm retired now, but I've been so busy with everything that I get my fingers in. But there is, if you like to, this is kind of interests me, Hook and Needle Club. On Tuesdays at the Essex Center from 1 to 3 p.m. The cost of this is free. Always love free. And this is from September through December. If you enjoy cross-stitch, knitting, crocheting with like-minded needle crafters, then join this group. Experienced leaders will be available to assist if you would like to learn one of these crafting techniques. Participants should bring their own supplies. Well, I sure do have some supplies. I've got some yarn, and I used to knit a little, and I crocheted a little, so I just may have to get back into that. So that sounds like a fun thing to do. And that meets, like I say, on Tuesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. You don't have to pay anything. Just show up and bring your own supplies. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It kind of feels like a fall day out there. I think it was 67 degrees when I left home this morning, so getting that weather where you need to put on a sweater. Also, watch for those school buses. School has started. Allow yourself a little extra time in the morning when you are going to work, because you've got to stop. If that school bus stops, you have got to stop. The red lights are flashing. You've got to stop. Also on North Main Street or all Main Street, there is not a median. So if there is an oncoming bus and you're going the opposite direction, you do have to stop. Now out on 220 where there's a median, if a bus is coming in, it stops, you do not have to stop, but you do there on Main Street. So we want everybody to be safe. And so we just watch out for our school children. They're going to be so excited to get back to school. So thanks again for joining us. We'll see you again on Wednesday. I can't remember who I've got coming, but it'll be somebody interesting. So we'll see you then.